Hi, this is Steve Miley with the Macro Watch, the FX Explained Macro Watch for this week, coming week commencing the 12th of August. Well, a volatile week last week. Key events were really the reaction from China with respect to Trump putting those extra tariffs on China at the end of the previous week, beginning of August, which saw equity markets sell off. China retaliating, a devaluation of the Chinese currency, USDCNY through the 7 level, and that was a significant move, and that saw a further sell-off in equities. Equity markets then subsequently rebounding into the second half of last week and forming short-term bases and trying to recover, having had US equity averages dropped between 8 to 10% from the late July through early August. So significant correction, trying to rebound, trying to correct that significant downside correction and the bearish moves that we've seen since the end of July. The other two big events last week, New Zealand, the RBNZ, cutting interest rates by 50 basis points more than anticipated, seeing a sell-off in the New Zealand dollar, also taking Australian dollar and Canadian dollar lower, although those currencies have all subsequently rebounded, including the New Zealand dollar. And then on Friday saw the quarterly GDP number for the UK as a negative 0.2 with the forecast at 0. So the first quarterly contraction in GDP in the UK since 2012. Real concerns now, potential for the UK going into recession, and that hit the pound versus the dollar down to a 2-year low, the euro versus the pound moving to a 5-year high. What have we got coming into this week now? Well, Monday's a very quiet start to the week, nothing really of major significance. But we do have going into the week here on Tuesday, German CPI and the German NZDUSD economic survey. Also have the UK employment report and also US CPI here on Tuesday. Moving through Wednesday, China retail sales, industrial production data, German GDP data also on Wednesday, UK PPI, CPI inflation data through Wednesday, and then we also get European GDP, EU GDP, and EU employment report. Moving through onto Thursday, we then have the Australian employment report. Also get US retail sales, important data here from the US. Also industrial production data from the US and capacity utilization data out of the US. And finally on Friday we get the US Michigan sentiment survey data, 3 o'clock UK time on Friday. So a busy week for data. We're obviously continuing to watch in here, continuing to watch anything that comes out from Federal Reserve members regarding the US economy, regarding the extra impact from the escalation of the trade war, and obviously any news coming through on those trade negotiations on the trade and also on the trade war from the US and China. Have a great trading week. So traders, don't forget to catch us on the next FX Explained Macro Watch and all the great content on fxexplained.co.uk.